welcome to Load In, Load Out, a tour story podcast produced in Athens, Georgia, in association with Kindercore Industries. This week, our guest is Sam from the Brooklyn band Interpol, who joins us in the Kindercore studios to talk about British ladies with axes, being in the presence of David Bowie, and the strange, persuasive powers of Josh from Queens of the Stone Age. Interpol's gearing up to make a new album. In the meantime, one of Sam's bandmates has been working with a very special collaborator.
Paul's been involved with the RZA.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Banks and Steels.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
Cool.
It kind of tickles me inside.
Yeah. That's great.
Because, Paul from Interpol and RZA.
It is
kind of cool.
It's like, where does that come from?
They're going to make
awesome.
another $1 million album that only... This time it'll be that lady who does the EpiPens can buy it this time.
Oh, yeah, like the Wu-Tang record that Martin Shkreli bought.
right.
The pharma guy. Yeah.
I think the best, though, as far as like the anecdotes from the road, the early one was Carlos, our former bass player, and Paul went to a party in London.
Okay.
And I think like Lars Ulrich was there.
Okay. Right. Sure, why not?
And apparently, you could find Lars at any kind of house party after a show. Which is apropos to me. You walk in, you see a dude from Metallica.
You're like, hey, all right, there we go.
What's going on? What's up, Lars?
Yeah.
And they were being really noisy.
Yeah.
And apparently this woman came banging on the door with an axe.
Oh my God.
And chased everybody down the street.
So some English lady,
some old English woman,
came over with an axe and was like,
"You're being too noisy."
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just trying to be part of the party.
Yeah, she's like, here we
I got
go.
me axe too.
Here we go.
There's some guitarists in there talking about their axes, and she just thought,
she's like, I got an axe.
Axes! I've got an axe too. I can be part of this party.
That kind of
What
party.
British woman doesn't have an axe?
Exactly. Yeah,
proper British woman.
That's good. Yeah,
that was my favorite one.
That's so funny. Yeah, the weird places I one time on tour went into a place we were touring. Harmar Superstar. Mm-hmm. We were touring with him and the Gossip. The agenda was, and we were in L.A. and went into this. He was like, I'm having this after party at some bar in L.A. So like, come by. And we get there, and Kelly Osbourne and Courtney Love are there, and like making this huge ridiculous scene. Like this whole thing. And they started yelling at us in the street, and they were like asking if they were like, "Oh, Courtney Love is like, you're in one of those The bands, aren't you?" And we were like, "Well, yeah." But so she just kept berating us or whatever, and so I took a picture of them, and I had this great picture of Courtney Love and Kelly Osbourne with the Sunset Boulevard sign in the background,
right?
And they look like so completely strung out because it's just like a disposable camera, bright flash,
Oh, perfect.
And it's been all over the internet. I found it places where people have just been like, check out this amazing picture, and it was just because they were going crazy. So yeah, I mean, when you got out there early on, were you guys in a van? You were in a van early, right? Mm-hmm. When you're getting out there in the beginning, yeah, and you just started touring kind of endlessly,
pretty much.
Yeah,
What was the longest you were out at one time?
I don't know. I remember like the one time it just felt like one show too many. Was in I think we spent like 3 weeks in Germany.
Oh wow.
Just in Germany.
Yeah, just in Germany. It just seemed like an inordinate amount of time.
Right.
Just in a small region.
Even Germans don't need to be here this long.
Yeah. And it just kind of drove everybody crazy.
That's amazing. You did a lot of your touring in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys go? You went to Japan, I assume, too, right?
Went there a few times.
Yeah. Where's your favorite place that you've toured, do you think?
Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
What about Australia specifically?
Those apartments they give you.
They give you apartments?
Yeah. You're there for it's like so far away.
Right. Yeah.
Every place that you play, the towns are so far apart.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not really doing any bus riding or van.
Right. Is it all flying from place to place? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is a drag in and of itself, but they put you up in these
That's awesome.
Little furnished extended stay.
Yeah. And people have to be pretty stoked, I imagine, too, right? Like, because not a lot of American bands get there to tour. So that's got to be pretty cool.
It is.
That's
awesome.
They
treat you like human beings.
Right. Yeah. We've been talking about that with other people on the podcast about how in other countries like you're actually treated decently.
Yeah, you're respected. And
right. And here it's sort of like, oh, you're here. We're like, but you booked us. Like,
right. We have a guarantee $100. Yeah, I don't have $100. Here's 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
money, give you some gas money.
Right, exactly.
You should sell some T-shirts. That'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's like the difference between playing a small venue in Europe versus anywhere in the States.
Yeah.
Where it's just like the venue in Europe is everything runs on time.
Right.
You know, it's clean.
You get food and drinks and everything.
They make you food.
Yeah.
And, you know, you sit down and eat with people. It's very civilized.
Like yeah. Where here it's like, go get some pizza and like crowd in the corner and eat it by yourself.
It's such a foreign, like, like, you want to eat?
Yeah. What?
There's a McDonald's down the road. Go ahead. Yeah. Nobody's stopping you.
Taco Bell.
Yeah. We did in Austin once run into somebody and ask them if there was a good place to get some vegetarian food around there. And I don't even know why well, the funny thing was is that right around the corner from them, there was this Buddhist vegetarian restaurant that we'd been to. And that's where we were on our way to. But one of the guys just asked this guy who had stopped us to talk, and he's like, oh, there's a Burger King up the street. Literally, there's a Burger King up the street. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But
that's Texas.
Yeah.
Texas vegetarian.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. But
Have there been any specific restaurants on the road that you can think of that stand out? It's always feel like we always say that eating is like half of touring.
It is.
Yeah.
I like street food.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think my ex-wife and I, my kid's mom, we were in Amsterdam. And thought that we mysteriously just discovered the best hot dog. And it was probably because of the other things you could do in Amsterdam.
Sure, yeah.
This
But
thing
that hot dog
is
was so
good.
That's awesome.
This must be like artisanal.
Yeah.
You know.
And there was just like a regular old hot dog.
Yeah,
Probably.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, that you could find anywhere around the city.
Right.
We were looking for this one cart, too.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
stupid.
That's awesome. But it gave you a sense of purpose and something to go for, you know?
And to look forward to.
Yeah. So that's what we talked about that too. Like, yeah, like eating on tour sometimes is that thing where you're like, oh, we're going to have this like time when we can get out of the vehicle and like we're not setting up equipment, we're not loading shit, we're just like sitting down and eating, which sometimes that might be at some, you know, like Cracker Barrel or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Waffle
every
House.
now and then you get lucky and get, you know, like something like a hot dog cart.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it spoils you for being at home? And like, because when you're on the road, every night you have a different choice of somewhere to eat in a different city, so you don't have the same 5 or 6 restaurants to choose from.
I'm okay with that.
You're
okay with that?
Yeah.
See, I feel like here it's like, all right, do I want to go to this place, this place, this place, or this place again?
Yeah.
Because I'm used to being on the road and being
Right.
like, oh, there's a new.
Yeah.
It's Mexican, but it's a different Mexican place.
Well, our guitar player, Daniel, he keeps track of food around the world.
Okay.
He can just tell you where anything is.
Yeah.
Anywhere. And
That's
you
like
just
his
kind of
thing.
wait for his email.
Right. Like,
He's
okay,
gonna
where are we
do it.
going? Yeah.
And it's just,
That's great.
and it's, you know, it's, you could tell everybody has their, you know, their voice over online, you know, their email voice.
Sure.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Or
Uh-huh.
they're texting, and it's just like you get that. It's very like the best coffee around the corner, very close.
Right.
You know, give you a little Google map.
Nice. Wow. That's
Because you all split up. I mean, that's what I always say
Yeah.
to people who have not toured is like, they're like, how do you deal with each other for 3 months at a time? Like, well, you get to a city and then you all, it's like,
you're not
all right,
really the
break.
monkeys. We're not.
And you all split
Right.
up.
Right.
Yeah.
It's wise.
Yeah.
Headphones help.
Yeah. Yeah. Giving a little moment to
vehicle,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, did you, one of the like classic things that people wind up dealing with in like band touring is breakdowns and like weird equipment stuff. Were you guys, did you guys have any of that, or were you?
Yeah. Over the years, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever have anything particularly spectacular?
There was a time when both buses, there's 2 buses, one for the crew, one for
Sure.
the band, broke down. And it was just a race to get to somewhere and back in Germany again.
Oh God. Germany.
And, having to be like somewhere off the Autobahn.
Yeah.
You know, and getting like our tour manager managing to get like 10 taxi cabs.
Oh my God. To shuttle everything to the place.
Yeah, just like-
oh God.
Just
That's
when
ridiculous.
this like kind of very well organized little traveling unit just
Yeah.
like is on the
disperses you
fringe.
like an
Yeah,
army
just-
of cabs show up
just
and you're
cab,
like, okay, here we go.
Oh God, logistics.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I still wonder how I managed to get these cabs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming
like
out in the
how they
middle of
got it.
nowhere.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And then there was a couple years ago when we broke down in upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
When there was a big, what do you call it? Snow thing.
Blizzard.
Yeah.
Storm. Yeah.
The snow thing.
Yeah, I've been down
Snow
here.
thing works. You know.
Damn, I forgot what that white stuff is. Haven't seen that in a while. And so I remember, like, we're not moving.
Yeah.
Just like looking out of the rear bus window, and just seeing that we're still on the highway.
Right. And you're like,
It's not moving, not moving. What are we? Okay, whatever.
because you're in the
like,
back and the
I'm in the
driver's
back,
up front.
yeah,
Right.
and it's really late, and you kind of don't care.
Right.
At the
You're like,
same
oh,
time.
whatever.
And then, I woke up again, and we still haven't moved anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I realized it's just because we could not.
Were you stuck in the snow or were you broken down?
Well, it wasn't broken down.
Yeah.
We weren't exactly stuck. We just couldn't get anywhere.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
And the bus was still kind of mobile.
Yeah.
But the good thing is we ended up in front of a fire station
Okay.
that let us use their
So
bathroom.
you could go in there. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, there's this big storm going on, and people are dying.
Yeah.
yeah.
Old folks are dying
Right.
outside of Buffalo. And CNN is trying to do an interview with one of us.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, it's like, why don't you...
Because like they're
use-
there for the weather event,
Yeah,
and they
it's
see
just
you,
like,
and they're
use-
like, "Oh,
why don't you use your resources to go help people?"
right,
Right.
No, but no, there's this band here. We could just talk to them. That would be so easy.
Yeah, I was like,
We can just package the story up. No one gets sad.
yeah. It's
You
just,
know?
I remember there's all these texts coming in, like, who's going to be eaten first? And,
Right? Yeah. Wow.
Are you okay? It's
Yeah,
like, yeah. I am on a bus.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fine. Right. Yeah.
With Amy's burritos.
yeah.
Tons of Amy's burritos.
That's amazing.
Yours is the only version of my needs version that I could ever subscribe to. That is all that I can do. You are past dinner, the last winner. I'm raping all around me until the last drop is behind you. Oh, you're so cute when you
I have a good cop story.
Yeah.
It turned out to be really cool, too.
Yeah.
So we were back to Texas.
Oh, cops always
Cops is
Texas.
like
Yep.
So our front of house guy left his weed underneath his pillow.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Where you stayed?
Yeah, well, the bus was moving.
Oh, it was in the bus. Okay.
Yeah. And it was going to meet us at Stubbs in Austin.
Yeah.
And, he got pulled over, and of course they searched the bus. And just about when it was going to be, kind of bleak,
Yeah.
forget this stuff.
Yeah.
The officer asked where the trash can was, and just threw the weed in the trash can.
What?
Yeah,
In the trash can on the bus.
on the bus. And if that
Okay.
wasn't like a wink,
Right. Seriously.
and it's just like,
What the-
wow, he didn't
Man.
take you.
That's insane.
And yeah,
Like, I mean, I
Wow.
could, understand letting you go, but like he would let you keep it. That's
would- yeah.
bananas. Because like this punk band from here, I was just talking to them a little while back. Like they had toured in Texas. I knew a bunch of people that have gotten busted for weed in Texas, and they wound up having to come back and do 100 hours of community service and do all this shit. Like this other band that I knew years ago, like somebody had given them a joint after the show, and they like put it in their bass case and forgot about it.
Right.
It's like, oh, I don't really, whatever. Put it in there, forgot about it. They got pulled over. Dragged everything out, found the joint. Those guys all went to jail.
Well, you've seen
Like,
the video
that's amazing.
of the Halo Benders, right? The Halo Benders on the True Stories of the Highway Patrol.
they're on there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they got pulled over. They're on one of the episodes of True Stories of the Highway Patrol. It's Calvin Johnson,
That's insane.
and Doug Marsh. They get pulled over and get busted for weed. And
Oh, my God.
one of the Brett Netson, I think, gets taken to jail.
Oh, my
And like
God.
Calvin Johnson is, of course, doing the.
Chocolate boy.
Yeah, he just dancing around like,
He's doing the "you have no right, I don't have to do anything you say" type of
Jesus.
thing.
I own a sound system. I am the 90s.
That's really
Right.
That's amazing though that the cop. Wow, Texas cops. That's really
And it was
impressive.
in Texas, I believe, for them as well.
Was
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
I
it's
think
always
so.
in Texas with
Who would have
cops.
thought?
Yeah,
You
That's
can look it
pretty
up.
Amazing.
Anyone at home, look it up. Halo Benders, True Stories of the Highways, True Stories of the Highway Patrol.
Wow, that's pretty
See
cool.
it, yeah.
So being out there as much as you guys were, like clearly you must have had some times when things didn't go great, right? Like clearly you must have had like
So every time,
was there ever a show that was like, oh man, that
or
show.
just an experience where you were like, we are in danger.
Well, there's danger. That's
Right.
That's where I was going to go next.
All right.
You can go. You can pick your choice.
Right.
Danger or terrible show.
Well, they kind of go hand in
Oh,
hand.
good. Okay.
sometimes,
Yeah. Run with it. Yeah.
Well, I think the worst like show experience,
Mm-hmm.
we were still kind of just got started,
Yeah.
and we've flown from Paris to Coachella.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's like a
hell of a
12-hour.
flight. Yeah.
And we lost some of our crew
Okay.
that just had to, they had just had to move on to other things. And it was
Okay.
the end of a leg, and
Yeah.
our tour manager was, had a stomach flu. I mean, it just kind of was just awful.
Yeah. Stuff was just falling apart.
It literally.
Yeah.
And then we get up on stage, and it's a guitar song that opens the set, and it's totally out of tune.
Oh my god. And you're up on stage at Coachella.
Yeah, and, ready to start.
Yeah.
At Coachella.
At Coachella.
Right.
Yeah.
At
Your
it
first
was our
time,
first
probably,
time.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Too.
Your coming out party at Coachella.
Right after the first album's release.
You get right up there with a jang, totally
Yep,
out of tune.
and then go and tune it again. Guitar strap comes off. It just kept going. It
Yes.
just kept going, and then
Were you losing the audience? Or were they hanging with you?
no, they wanted to see this train wreck.
They were like, "Let's do this."
Stuck
Yeah.
with it, yeah. They didn't leave. They didn't go
That's
anywhere.
awesome.
Then there was a conversation in my monitors
Okay.
with just between front of house and monitor world.
So that's suddenly coming out of your
Just kind of
monitors.
loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Not distracting at all.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And the drum kit's falling over. Like nothing was the stage was just not. It was just really here.
Yeah. You're like, we came all the way. We flew 12 hours.
Yeah, all the way across.
We're here
the-
to play Coachella. This is it.
And this is
coming out party. And then
Yeah,
wow.
bang.
And what do
That's-
you do?
it's
I mean,
really
you're
fun.
annoyed, you're angry, but you can't be annoyed and angry visibly.
You just gotta
You got to kind of laugh.
Hold it
off.
together.
Yeah.
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 Did it wind up coming together? I mean,
It did.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think people were they wanted it to come together.
Right.
They didn't. I think there's a certain amount of people that just wanted to see these guys, these tools in suits.
Let's see what these
falter
guys have
in
to
the
do.
desert,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's like, you guys are boiling.
Assholes.
Yeah. Yeah, because did you guys wear full suits all the time?
Yeah.
As a drummer, that's a hell of a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You take the jacket off, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Can't do it.
No, that's
The only time
yeah.
I was able to keep the jacket on was on the set of David Letterman.
Yeah,
'Cause it was
just freezing
55
in there,
degrees.
right?
Yeah.
I've
So
always heard
cold.
how cold it is there.
Yeah, it's ridiculously cold.
Did you guys?
But also in shows like that, like what you were saying, where everything's falling apart, I feel like by the end of it, once it comes together,
It's on fire.
Then
Yeah.
you're like playing the best you've ever played.
It becomes
Yeah.
a visceral habit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
and-
all right, we got to make this work.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, at the end, it's so triumphant, you know?
Yeah, you do. Your penis grows a little.
Right.
You kind of just
done it,
saunter off.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of cool people around that night
Mm-hmm.
that were just like, yeah, it's cool. Don't.
Yeah,
I remember talking to Troy from Queens of the Stone Age, and he's just like, man,
you got
yeah,
it.
he's like,
No, yeah,
and everybody, what was he? I think the Chili Peppers were playing. He was just like, come on, man, like,
yeah,
better, not better than that, but like,
yeah. That's great.
yeah.
That's really funny.
Shake it off.
Just kind of like, yeah, come on, man. You're here,
Shake
people
it
here.
off.
So did you
Yeah.
guys ever get into any? Did you guys? Speaking of danger, though, did you ever get into any like touchy
Like, oh, shit
situations?
moments.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a couple.
aside from the
recall.
axe wielding,
Right.
British
Well,
lady.
there was a guy who did our lights,
Mm-hmm.
who was totally running on empty,
Yeah.
to the point where it was like people were afraid of his rigging.
Oh God. Yeah.
He was just doing a lot of drugs.
yeah.
And doing coke all day and then
jeez.
Valium at night.
To try and sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not the real story. There was There was something.
But that's amazing, though, whenever you get into the level that you guys are, that you have all these people that you depend on, that someone, just one person like that, the light person, could put you all in danger.
Yeah, totally.
It's serious.
The lights
yeah,
fall
you
on
kind of
you.
forget about
Jesus.
it. And we're pretty lax with people smoking weed or whatever. And,
Right.
You know,
Sort of like,
I mean,
oh,
it's
it's
still
cool,
like
whatever.
a rock band.
Right.
Right.
Then
Yeah.
you realize, oh, wait, there's like heavy machinery.
Right. Some of this stuff is actually serious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could go far south.
Totally. Which that's never happened though, I assume, right?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
well, that's
thankfully.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that
Absolutely.
shit's blown up on stage.
Yeah.
You know, there's been small fires.
Excellent.
You know,
Excellent.
and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, people just jumping up on stage.
Sure.
That's freaky.
Yeah.
Like that.
Because you're like, what are you here for?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And you
Also
know,
for this band, for Interpol, like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like for some bands, you're like, okay, it's Rancid or whatever. You know what
right.
I mean,
It's kind of expected, but this is.
yeah.
And it just, I remember it would just shock the hell out of Paul.
It was,
he's-
what? What are you?
Standing there, you know, crooning and his eyes
Yeah.
are closed. and
Oh
then
God.
You're almost like tackled on.
Yeah.
And especially, you know, you never know what that person is
What
doing.
the
You never
intention-
know what they
Yeah.
have with them. I mean, like the person who, I mean, not to take this in a dark place or make anybody more worried, but the person who killed John Lennon was a fan.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, most of
Yeah.
the people that have done stuff like that were very, well, obviously they're in close proximity, but
Right.
you wouldn't expect them,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, the shit that who's expected the guy from Pantera to get shot on stage?
Right.
Jesus. Yeah.
You know,
Forgot
that's
about
and
that.
that it's
Yeah.
the kind of those situations that
Yeah.
bring it down to earth.
Especially while you're playing too, because you're like, I can't get up and try and address this situation. I just got to ride it out from where I am. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going to happen here?
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like watching that footage of Eagles of Death Metal.
Yeah.
There's gunfire
And-
going
yeah.
on.
Oh my God.
And just like it be literally being dumbfounded. Like
Yeah.
and there's that delay time. I mean,
Right.
It's so hard. Like things on stage are so weird to
When you're trying
begin
to,
with.
is this really happening?
Exactly.
Is it fireworks? What's going on?
Yeah.
Do we stop? If we stop, is that weird? Wait a minute, people are getting shot. We have to stop. Like,
Yeah.
that's
it's
super
intense.
intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that the people who jump up on stage, they're not thinking about that.
No, they're not thinking that there's a
That
whole, sideline of people that are going to pounce on you.
But
Right,
also, like
yeah.
the artists are thinking, or the band on stage is thinking, like they're not kicking you off or looking at you funny because they think you're an asshole. They're kicking you off and looking at you funny because they're like, shit, what's this person gonna do?
Right. Yeah. Nobody
out.
knows what you're doing, so get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't part of the show.
People are scared.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not wearing a suit. You have to wear a suit to get on the stage.
Excuse me.
It's like a fancy restaurant.
Proper attire.
They bring him a jacket, a loaner
required-
jacket.
yes.
Yeah.
Can we get this guy a
You can
jacket
be on the
here?
stage, but you're going to need a jacket.
Excuse me. What's your waitering experience? What do you know about cheese?
So you guys have never had like a crazy New Orleans holdup or something like that. We've talked about like classic cities to feel danger in, and it always comes back like whenever somebody's going
Miami.
to tell us a danger story, it's Miami, New Orleans, El Paso, Detroit. Like those are always the
DC,
main.
one of the
DC,
places
sure.
I felt most in danger. at one
Sure.
point.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the
Depends
band I
on where
was-
you go,
The band I was
you know.
touring in, and I'll, if you want to see a picture of the van, I'll show you later. But it was a van that it was an old country radio station from my hometown,
Which
And
is where?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Word.
And yeah, I don't know if there's whatever.
Are you from Florida?
I lived in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what part?
That's what I thought.
South Florida.
Okay. But so it was Rooster Country 107. It had a big rooster on the side. It was a cowboy.
That was my nickname when I was a kid. Yeah, he would have loved that.
Rooster. Yeah. But it was like this rooster in like a cowboy hat. And
Oh
tight
my
jeans,
God. Nice.
Like on his side, leaning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the guy who ended up becoming our bassist at the time was living there, but his name is Chad Matheny. He does that band Emperor X. He was the bassist in my band, or was about to be the bassist in this band. But he was in college at what's that university? It's like United States University, American University, whatever, something like that. And
American University.
yeah, American University. And he's blind, basically. Like, he had an airbag blow up in his face when he was 15, so he doesn't see very well. And we're calling this guy to get directions on where to go. And, of course, he ends up getting us lost in a place that you wouldn't want to be
Southeast
lost
DC, probably.
with a big country rooster
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the side of your van.
Right.
and people are literally stopping in the street and screaming at us because of this rooster on the side of our van. What the fuck is going on? You know, like shit like that to us. And we're like, oh my God. We're like 19 years old. Like, oh my God. What
You crossed over
We're
into
going to die. Like someone stopping in the middle of the street and banging on our hood while we're driving by. And we get to Chad and we're like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, I always walk in DC. I don't know which streets are one way and which ones aren't.
Oh yeah, that's DC.
Yeah, confusing.
That is a confusing fucking city when it comes to traffic. Yeah.
Is there anything where you guys have felt like you were like, oh shit, we might not survive this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a time when we had to cancel a show that was supposed to, have been already happening.
Okay.
And they weren't pleased.
So the people were there.
The people were there
for the show.
And it was just like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Their reaction was
Like,
just
get out
fuck
here.
off and play.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we don't
Because
care.
you guys were there and they were there.
Yeah. And we just couldn't do the show for some reason. It was the only show we ever canceled.
Yeah. Yeah,
They just were like...
Did they start?
Northern rowdy English people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Newcastle, I think.
Oh, yeah. I think I played there
There was
once.
another situation quite like that. There was actually the worst situation where safety was an issue.
Yeah.
Was we got Beatlemania'd in Mexico.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Okay.
That was creepy
Yeah.
because they were breaching customs.
Oh, no. So this happened while you guys were in customs.
We're in customs.
Oh. Which is stressful enough.
Yeah, in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bazaar.
Yeah. Like you don't need people rushing you while that's happening. Yeah.
And then the security guards were just like, oh, so you guys must be kind of popular. So they start taking pictures.
Oh, geez.
It's
yeah.
like, no.
Right.
There's a lot. People are coming through. You're an officer.
Like turn around and stop them.
Yeah, look that way. People, plenty of people. And and they were just on fire too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had you expected that at all? Like, did you know that
We
you
had
guys
a
were
little
gonna
bit of
be-
a warning.
You did? Yeah.
But
yeah.
we just thought, well, it's
That's
just going to
wild.
be like
Like, oh, whatever. It's anywhere else.
couple,
But yeah.
couple goth chicks.
I feel like Mexico too. There's just so many people. There's just so much. Like,
It's so frenetic.
Yeah. It's like just this energy where you're like, like if there were just people coming at you, you'd just kind of be like, okay.
Yeah, it runs a little thin rail, like when you're down in the Americas.
Yeah. Yeah.
To
Yeah.
where it's like it could just feels like it could go off those rails,
Right.
Oh,
At
yeah.
any point,
Yeah.
which makes it a lot of
A little
fun.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the people are so.
Well, I mean, Mexico City is the only place, like, I grew up in places, I grew up in what were considered bad neighborhoods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I go to most places in America, or even some European places or whatever, when they say don't go to this neighborhood, I typically abide, but I'm still like, I'll be fine. Like, if you act right, you'll be fine. If you don't act scared, if you don't act like an asshole.
Right.
Mexico City, however, is one of those times where I followed that to a T. Like, do not cross this street. Okay, not crossing
I'm
that
not
street.
going to, yeah.
I saw, because you, like, just...
It's
truly
threatening-
scary there, yeah.
It's a threatening place.
Yeah.
It's very ominous.
But the parts that are cool are...
Yeah, La Roma,
Like nothing
that
else,
area,
yeah.
They were really excited about
Yeah.
you too. So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
that. I mean,
No, it
as
is
scary as it was, that I guess had to mean something.
Yeah, it's a little double-edged sword.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
You're like, what? Yeah.
But
that's-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys came out, like you said, as a part of like a scene in New York, you know, and we're coming up like with sort of a whole wave of stuff happening, especially probably when going to Europe. Like the White Stripes were blowing up, the Strokes already, all of that stuff. All like at that same time. We the Agenda played at the Reading and Leeds festivals in 2002, I think, which I can't remember if you guys. I think you were there.
We were there, yeah.
Yeah, because this is actually we were just ridiculous, right? Like, I mean, our thing was just we don't, whatever. We'll just get drunk and have fun,
Yeah.
Because nobody gave a shit about us in the States. We were on the radio in the UK. We went on the BBC. We did, so that was exciting.
Sure.
But it was like, you know what? This is probably not ever going to happen again. Let's just have fun.
Savor it, yeah.
So we acted like just complete lunatics at backstage at the festivals and there was at one, because we had toured with Harmar, and he was like, "Oh, I'm DJing this party with Jack Osborne backstage at one of the things, right?" So we get there and he's like, come over to this place. And there's girls, I guess, that have been hired to be dancers there that were like dancing around in booty shorts and stuff. So we go into this tent. It's relatively small and it's backstage. So it's only for like the people that are in the, VIP area or whatever. And it's all just like all of the hot bands at the moment standing around like staring at each other. So it was like there's some of the Mars Volta, there's some, you guys may have been there, there's some of Spoon, there's some Strokes, there's whatever, and everyone was standing around the side just sort of like, ooh, okay, like here we are. And
bunch of awkward white people.
Yeah, and our bass player, who was just completely like, he was completely off the hook. Like we both were just like, today let's say yes to everything, right? So we did. And so we're back there and he's got his shirt pulled up Beavis and Butthead style over his head, and dancing around like Cornholia with these like British quasi stripper girls, while every other band that's popular at the moment is staring at him just like, what the fuck is happening? And the guy from our label that brought us over came over and put his arm around him and he's like, this is why I spent all my money on you guys. It's like, this is perfect, this is what I want to see. But having been a part of that and like going around and all those things, did you ever get into, I mean, you may not want to come off any stories that get anybody else in any trouble or whatever, but, did you ever get into crazy antics with anybody with, running around with all those crazy people? Yeah.
Like some of the other bands or whatever.
Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah. Were they your party buddies?
Woo. Ouch.
Well, let's go there. Let's get into it.
Yeah, Josh, man.
Yeah.
Life of the party.
Yeah.
I mean, just in every which way. I don't know how it all happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such an unlikely pairing, Queens.
Right. Queens of the Stone Age and Interpol. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just personalities mixed.
Yeah, and they're just up for it. And they have supplies.
That's awesome. You had what we needed. You were ready to party, and it was time to go.
And you just don't say no to Josh.
Right. Yeah, I feel like, he's like 12 feet tall,
12
right?
feet tall, yeah. Very handsome, charming.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
I don't feel like there is any saying no to him.
You
right?
just don't say no.
Yeah, he just comes in and you're like, well, okay,
plus
whatever you want. Sir.
He has that, he has that swagger too, and it's Josh,
and he's playing. I mean, you're like, well, you totally fucking shred, and you're 12 feet tall, and super handsome,
and he's really cool with band people.
That's cool. Yeah,
yeah. He definitely is like a trooper. And has a lot of respect for people who are working around him.
Right.
I mean, tries to make it as comfortable as possible.
That's always nice.
He shares the wealth.
Yeah.
He's just that kind of, he comes from, very similar roots, like community.
Yeah.
You help each other.
Like a community music scene.
Yeah. Just like, what you've done over the years, and you help your friends out.
Right.
You get to know people and he just treats them really well.
Yeah.
We hope you're enjoying this week's episode of Load In, Load Out. We've been really gratified by the response to our initial episodes. Thanks for your continued support. And if you get a moment, review Load In, Load Out on iTunes. If you'd like to throw a coin in the hat, we have a donation button located at Kindercore.com. If you're interested in supporting Athens music culture in a more general fashion, buy an album from your favorite local group. It's a small purchase that makes a big difference to the most fragile of small businesses. May we also suggest donating to Nucci's Space, a nonprofit organization that provides crucial services to our musical community. You can check them out at nucci.org, that's nuci.org. Thanks again for listening. We now return you to our regularly scheduled discussion of encounters with irascible rock stars.
Bands I toured with Tracy Shedd. We did a couple shows with Mark Kozulek from Red House Painters. I've
not heard great things about him.
It somehow worked for him, and it becomes a bit of a endearing quality. But when you're at the brunt of it, it's not endearing.
No.
He's harsh, man.
Yeah.
He's got...
If you had some run-ins.
Yeah. Well, I remember going to see Red House Painters.
Same here.
Yeah.
Being on fire about it.
Right.
That's my phrase for the day, by the way.
Sure,
On
fire.
All right.
We can
Just
start
being
singing
ready
the,
to be
Bruce
like
Springsteen song for you.
slowed, everything just
Yeah.
ready for that, like,
Ready to be blown away.
yeah,
Charged.
that slow intensity.
Yeah,
Red House
yeah.
Painters, come on, you
Right.
know? And
Then-
he comes out, right, and you could see he's a little annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Just
It sounds like a similar
just
experience
with
to me
life.
singing them in '96.
Right. Okay. So somebody's taking pictures, and he just stops in the middle of the song. Can you? I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
I'm
God.
just a guy.
That whole thing.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's our fault.
Yeah.
that you're
Sorry,
here.
we all paid money to come see
and
you.
see you.
Like,
Right.
you presented yourself on a stage for us for money. I don't know
Right.
that you're just some guy.
Right. And it was very disappointing.
Yeah.
I left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left in '96. I lived in Jacksonville, drove to Atlanta. I was in high school on a weekend, drove to Atlanta. He pulled a girl on stage, a female fan, and proceeded to make fun of her for her weight on
What?
stage.
Oh, my God.
And that's why I was like, all right, that's it.
As he looked in the mirror.
Not
Yeah,
exactly.
but he's not a
stunner.
woman. It's not his
But
responsibility.
yeah, so that
to,
was
you
like
know.
we all left. You
Yeah.
know? And then I did not listen to their music again for 10 years. I come
It's
back
har-
around to
it's
it now.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I come back around to it now.
Especially with songwriters like that,
Right.
who are like, totally expose their,
Right.
Yeah.
their inner dark. He's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then
And you
can-
just you have expectations that they're real,
Right.
and
maybe
like
he
drinking
is.
buddy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Maybe.
one of those
Maybe.
things where
Yeah.
I was just talking the other night. I forget which friend I was talking to about this. But I don't want to excuse artists for their behaviors.
I refuse to.
Yeah.
I refuse
I'm
to
closer
as
to you
well.
on that.
But
Yeah.
how much of this is him, like, and his own insecurities and him reacting to that? Like, if we were to meet him and he was a friend of ours and went out for a beer, would he be the same? I mean, is that
Or
a
is this a
reaction?
creation of-
Is that
Right.
a reaction to, like, we expect him to react because of his music in a certain way and be soulful and real, but maybe this is a reaction to where his music comes from as well.
True.
Like his like
It could be,
insecurities
but I feel
and
like
things
at a certain point, you just have to be like, you know what? Like, if you're doing this and you're out there, I mean, because
Oh,
like
yeah, I
Neutral
agree.
Milk Hotel, obviously Jeff was not comfortable doing what he was doing, so he stopped doing it.
Right.
And as much as that frustrated people that were fans, like, that's fully his right. Like, but it's a totally different thing to continue to do it and then complain about it while you're doing it
Right.
and be like, I hate this. This is terrible. Like,
Yeah.
Jeff was just
I've
like, I
been
don't
on
want to do it
tour
anymore.
for
So he
3
didn't
months.
do it, Yeah. And you guys are like,
Yeah,
call
and
me back when you've been on tour for 3 years.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That woman in the front row just wants your picture.
Right.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cut and dried.
And even if she paid $5, she probably paid closer to 20. But even if she paid $5, she paid $5. Let her take a picture. Who cares?
Yeah.
Let her take a picture.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
can
just-
understand with Jeff, and he explains it to the audience very, very nicely.
Sure.
And
yeah.
he's not a dick about it, so I get it. But
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is,
there's no, what did it for me was like I met David Bowie,
Okay. Yeah.
and he was just the nicest creature I ever met.
Really?
And it's just like, okay, hey everybody.
Yeah. So you're like, fuck
You have
everybody
no
else.
excuse,
like,
man.
Right. If
You have-
David Bowie's cool, fuck.
Yeah, David. I mean, he was just so. What everybody says about people that know him, what they
Right.
say was just
I have always heard that. Yeah.
that smile,
Or read that.
man. He just greets you.
That's
and
amazing.
You feel like
Was that one of those moments where you're like, holy shit.
holy fucking.
where you
shit.
felt cool.
We're here.
You're
I
like,
felt-
oh, I'm cool because David Bowie's being nice to me.
I was gonna make out with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like,
It's like I'll suck your dick right now.
Sam,
dude.
enough. Back off.
No, I dig it.
Were you guys playing with him or did you just wind up meeting
He
him?
invited us to
Wow.
Madison Square Garden,
Wow.
and I didn't think we were
awesome.
gonna meet him.
Sure.
I
You just
was
thought you were
happy
going to
with
the show and
third row. He's just
yeah.
kind of reintroduced like older material for the first time in years.
Wow.
And he was so. It was before he had that heart attack,
Yeah.
Right.
and
And he was a fan, so he wanted to
oh yeah, he
wanted to see you guys.
and he
yeah.
knew everybody's name.
Wow.
Wow.
And I remember
That's
reading.
awesome.
Remember reading about he did that to Granddaddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
That's really cool.
And he showed up. He just walked into the dressing room at the Bowery Ballroom
Yeah.
and knew all their names.
Wow.
He was so into new music.
That's
He's always
that's
like,
amazing.
on
That's
the
so
cusp.
impressive to me that somebody like that who could clearly have checked out. I mean, shit, I've checked out half the time.
Me too,
But
yeah.
but he still was
He
like
was
out
still,
there.
yeah, and just excitable,
Yeah.
and it was just such a gentleman.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Speaking
You know?
of, Granddaddy's coming back, and I'm excited about
Oh,
that.
that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I've been listening to that Software Slump of late.
Man, yeah, that
You know which one?
an amazing record.
I love Software
that
Slump,
record.
and I didn't like Someday all that much when it came out. That one snuck up on me.
Right.
I love
That's
that.
when it came out
album now.
afterward, right?
Yeah, Someday.
The Crystal
at
Lake
first,
is
at
one of
first
my-
I was like, it's all mid tempo. There's not much of a build up But now that one sneaks up on you someday. That's a great album now.
Yeah, I like their use of electronics.
Me too. Yeah,
It's
that
kinda
the song, the
creeps.
Crystal Lake, like the.
Oh, it's so good. Oh yeah, it's so
Oh
good.
man, I
So
could
well
listen to that a
thought
million
out.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way that
That I
record was
have.
recorded too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something very intimate.
Yeah, it sounds like you're inside, but it also has this electronicness to it. That's
You ever,
like, yeah.
Have you ever heard
Dig it.
about Arm of Roger, their other band?
No.
So, just a quick story. So, like, they were on V2. Hopefully, I'm getting this correct. I think that I got the story right. So, they were on V2, right? And they were supposed to send them in someday. And instead of them recording in a studio, they took all the money that they gave them in advance and built their studio. So that the record execs had no idea what was going on. They had no one to watch over them.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
they turned in. They decided that they had done Someday. They were finished with it, and it was a great album. But they were done early and decided they were going to fuck with V2. And they took this. They recorded an album in a day, and sent it into them and let them sweat it out and believe that was the
was the
album
record.
that they were turning in. And I have this album.
classic.
It's called Arm. They released it later as a band called Arm of Roger that they found. I'm doing that in quotes. No one can see that because I'm speaking in there's no
Podcast,
visuals. But
air
anyway,
quotes, yeah.
they released it as Arm of Roger later, saying it was a band that they found like up in the backwoods of the Northwest, right?
Right.
And that it was some other band.
Yeah.
But there's songs like the Pussy Song and like like
Song.
yeah, it's like all these crazy, ridiculous songs. And V2 was just kind
Just
of
to freak them out.
let them sit on it for like 2 weeks and didn't know what the fuck to do with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they come back and like, all right, guys, just kidding.
That's
Yeah.
a great. That's a.
If you can find Armor Roger, that album is worth listening to, knowing that story.
That's yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
To have a dummy album.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's- to have the time.
To have the
put
guts
together
to do
a
that,
album.
too.
Yeah. Because I imagine you guys probably, you guys take time making a record, right? Like,
Yeah.
everything's crafted out, thought out, like serious
painfully so.
sounds. And yeah,
Yeah, it's just so we
mean,
could.
it shows.
Yeah,
It's
it just-
great.
yeah.
It works. The process works for us,
Right.
and just doing all the work before entering the studio.
Yeah. Lots of
Just-
pre-production.
yeah.
Writing,
just smart.
rehearsing, doing all that stuff.
And it affords like we could get to go to a really good studio. right?
Yeah.
because we're just gonna track.
You just go in and
just
knock
go
it
in
out.
and perform the songs that have been rehearsed.
That's awesome. Do you guys record live? Do you play live? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I've never been able to like any recording where I've done it piece at a time. It just never feels right to me. I don't know what it is. There's something about
Initial
the
tracks
band.
live always
Yeah,
seems
that's
to
it's
work
got to
best.
have the core.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's something about
totally.
everybody rocking together. And also the like after you get past like take 3, it's like, okay, we're gonna come back to the song later because like now we're just beating a dead horse. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you have that, the initial, those basic tracks, the record has legs.
Right.
It can go,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and that's fun.
Yeah, that's really cool. So aside from the Bowie moment, which was clearly a like, holy shit, we've made it or whatever,
Totally.
was there a, because you guys were sweating it out, like you said, touring forever, like, I mean, in the beginning, obviously now you're well known. In the beginning, you were more well known than some bands that go on their first tours, certainly.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, you were trying,
Still in a band,
sweating it
so-
out, trying to make it happen.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
did you guys? Was there like a moment where you were like, oh,
Realized
holy
that
shit,
something was up?
we made this, like this happened.
Yeah, I think that the whole like what was going to expose everything as to the work we still needed to do was our first tour of the U.S.
Yeah.
So I was like, people in Europe, there's just a different culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just music is so much more important over there.
Right.
It's just a more
Treated with more
common
respect.
staple. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot more respect. And it's not very ageist.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you always see a wide variety of people out together seeing music.
Yeah. That is. Yeah.
It's just a different part of the fabric in such a different way. And I thought, that was easy.
Yeah.
We're gonna
right.
come here, and this is like
It's
the
home,
tough-
so it should be great, right?
it's,
Yeah.
and
No.
but it worked out.
Yeah.
I kept trying to be like the cheerleader, like, okay, this is gonna suck,
Right.
I remember playing here, and this is rough, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just
Well, you played at the 40 watt. I'm trying to think back. What?
2003.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I
That was one of
remember
our
running
best
into you
shows of
guys
that
at a house
period.
party
remember
afterwards,
that
right
house
down the
party.
street from my house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was a
ironically,
good
I
time.
moved right around there.
I thought that might have been the case. Yeah, that's really
did-
funny.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, so
great.
you live here now.
I do.
Yeah. And so you just travel back and forth to do stuff with the band, or yeah. Is everybody else in New York still?
They're still there.
Yeah.
If they're not gallivanting around,
doing whatever, playing, hanging out with the RZA.
Unlike us, they're single men.
Oh yeah. So
with money.
Sure. Yeah. Man, that's a good gig if you can get it, I guess, huh? That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, that's, that has to have been and you guys have played on TV a few like you mentioned, Letterman and stuff.
Yeah.
Has that, I've talked to a couple bands. Well, I'm remembering, I think it was Sebadoh, somebody that I remember that was sort of a weird band to have been on TV, and it was in the 90s.
It would have been on Conan. I remember seeing them on Conan.
I think it might have been.
And the guitar fucked up.
Yes,
they were playing.
They broke strings in on the first hit.
Oh wow!
And as a kid, I thought that was so fucking awesome. I'm sure they hated it.
That's so funny. You saw the same thing.
I remember seeing it, and I was like, "Yes, that's fucking awesome."
Yeah,
they're fucking up. They're real people on this show.
Yeah. But I also remember thinking, having played shows and stuff at the time, like, oh my God, I can't imagine. Like, you're like, holy shit, we're on Conan O'Brien or whatever. Like, here we go. And then, blank, Right. So, yeah, did you ever have any, like, weird, or did it all kind of just roll off pretty well?
Thankfully, not on TV.
That's awesome.
Because this is really, if you could, I think there's room for you to kind of pick up the mistake at a certain point.
Yeah.
But, man, they're on such a schedule crunch.
Right.
They just don't want you they want you being professional.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was the weird thing with the Sebadoh thing, because it was kind of like, oh wait, we can't do anything about, like, it's happening.
Yeah, it's locked.
Like,
Right,
that's it. Yeah.
Oh, that was the thing about early Conan O'Brien. It was all like, he jokes about how unprofessional he was, but if you watch, me and my brother watched it very religiously the first couple of years.
Yeah, definitely.
And it really was unprofessional back then. I mean, they freaking had Polvo on.
Did they?
Yeah,
that's
Conan
pretty crazy.
Then.
Yeah.
Which is nuts to think about now.
You've done TV here and overseas, right? I assume. What was the show that you did where you were like, oh man, like, tell the parents, like, that was the feather in my cap.
Well, my mom came to Conan O'Brien. We did Conan. I guess around our second record when he was still in New York.
Yeah.
And that kind of changed her attitude.
Did it? She was like, oh, different level here.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Did you guys deal with Max at all?
No, he was on tour already. He was his handsome fill-in that my mom was flirting with.
Really?
So I've heard some mixed stories about Max Weinberg.
Oh, I've only heard terrible things about him. I knew people somebody that interned on the Conan O'Brien show, and they were like, he was horrible. Everybody hated him. He hated everybody else. Like, yeah. Yeah,
I'm such a huge Bruce Springsteen fan and have been on my whole life that really saddens me about Max Weinberg.
In fact, I think that's
probably
was
the issue.
Yeah. I think that was why they remember in those early years of the show when he was on, they had like a weird combative relationship.
Yeah.
Like they would be constantly like heckling him or like whatever, like poking Max Weinberg, and I think that was probably why. I mean, that's what I would do if I had an asshole working on my show.
Yeah, I always wondered how he got that gig.
Yeah. That's But well, cool. That's awesome. Anything you got? Any other like stories in you that you feel like you wanted to? Anything on the way here
Something
you were thinking
out there
that you wanted to tell?
I love listening to Helmet on the road.
Okay, that's
In the meantime,
I remember the first when I saw Helmet, I was like, I thought I was seeing a rock band. This is a soccer team. Like, I was like, I went to see Helmet, and it was like everybody was wearing Umbros, and at the time, I think they were playing with Jesus Lizard. I think
that tour, yeah,
and so it was like you just see the Jesus Lizard, and it's like, exactly what you'd expect: crazy drunks, long hair, like just fucking mayhem. And Helmet came out, and I was like, wait, what? What is this, soccer practice or a rock show? I don't know why. It really like
it was so clean.
It was
cut.
weird. Yeah, they were very clean cut.
Is the drummer still the drummer from Battles?
Yeah, John Stanier.
Okay,
he's my fave.
That's
he's
awesome.
a lovely guy too.
Two of my favorite drummers are, the Sebastian from Trans Am is one of my favorite drummers.
I can see why.
Yeah, and then Teasley, I'll use his stage name, Bird Stuff
from Man After Man.
Right.
Yeah.
One of my favorite drummers.
He's fast.
Yeah. Man, that guy can slay.
Like,
absolutely.
I learned to play drums playing along to Destroy All Asterman.
Nice.
I learned
right.
drums
yeah.
Those are two of my favorite drummers, but I can't remember his name. Dude from Battles is up there as well.
Oh, he's sick.
So speaking of on that topic,
and you, of course, you're one of my favorite drummers as well.
Do you have some drum?
Ryan.
Who's your drum idols? Let's go.
Well, John is one of them.
Yeah,
definitely. Simone Pache from Blonde Redhead.
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
cool. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we did a lot of touring with them.
Yeah.
And that's like,
I bet they're great people.
they're amazing.
Yeah.
They used to shop in the record store I worked in New York a lot, and they were really nice.
And they played in
Very
Jacksonville.
nice.
They came to the bar that I DJ'd and hung
They're
out
good.
for a little while, and they seemed like awesome people.
They cook on their butts, man.
Oh, wow.
They cook.
That's impressive.
For real. Those brothers.
Yeah. Like, actually, like, make some meals.
Oh, yeah.
Not just
But
the
his
real
drumming,
burritos.
though, because there's nothing particularly difficult. It's taste. And that's the thing about so
It's
many
all-
drummers.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not about like being John Bonham
It's the
or
Ringo
what the
thing,
fuck
man.
else.
Like,
It's
Ringo's
Ringo,
fucking
exactly.
perfect because he plays what's right for the song.
People talk about Rush and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, they're
That's
great
great.
drummers.
It's good for what it is.
But
you
I
know?
prefer something like Ringo where you don't notice how weird what he's playing
Yeah.
actually is. It's like the guy from Blonde Redhead. It's super weird stuff that meshes so well with the music that you don't even realize.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
you wouldn't
taste.
think to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the key. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to find.
Is there anything
Just
you've been
gotta
listening
stumble.
to lately that you've been
Aside from lots of
digging.
Helmet.
aside from lots of Helmet? Yeah.
What's this band? Another kind of heavy band.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah. Do some.
take a look here.
It's called The Agenda. That's who you've been listening to.
Yeah, no one's been listening to The Agenda. It's been 13 years since anyone has listened to us. Even when we reunited and played a couple shows, people weren't listening.
Screw them.
I'm just kidding. It was
They don't
fine.
know what-
It was fine. It was fine.
Where's this band at? I logged it in my notes,
Yeah. That's when,
which are clearly unorganized.
Right. It's Sun,
Oh,
right?
wait. Is it Dead Widows?
I don't
Dead
know.
Meadow?
No, not Dead Meadow.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Dead Widows.
I think so.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
In this day and age, it's
Yeah.
really pathetic to be wrong.
Right.
Well, you know,
When everything's
or it's just Sun.
we can run an
Young Widows.
attraction.
Young Widows. Okay, I've heard
Young
Young
Widows and the
Haven't
Paper
heard them
Chase.
yet, but
The Paper Chase. Okay.
okay.
That's some
Cool.
weird, cool shit.
I haven't heard either. I'll have to
Very
check it out.
the way Paper Chase is so angular,
Yeah.
but really are. I think that the guy who did that band, the main songwriter, wrote some big hits,
Oh, okay.
like some big pop stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can hear that sensibility, but it would be
Nice.
like kind of akin to like if Shellac did a pop album.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So it's still
Yeah.
super angular,
you
but
just
all
kinda
these
hooked
little.
me there.
But it has hooks in it, and it's like
It's really
yeah,
fucking catchy,
that's awesome.
but still really dissonant and
yeah.
angular.
Well, it's just like
Nice.
that album, 1000 Hertz, is kind of catchy. You know,
Yeah,
you don't
he-
want, you
he-
wouldn't call it catchy, but it is catchy.
Well, he hints at melody
Right.
on that.
Like
Yeah.
the song Against Itself, and what's the song with the numbers where he's counting the numbers?
The new number order.
Yeah, that one's catchy in its
Prayer to
weird way.
God?
Oh, that's one of the greatest. So there was a girl. I have a story about that song. There was a girl I was dating in Jacksonville. I will not use her name because this is kind of mean. And I was DJing at the time at this club, and in Jacksonville had this weird thing where people actually danced to indie rock.
Oh, cool.
And
Must have been nice.
yeah, and like you know,
Dorks.
Yeah.
I'd play Slint. People would dance to it. I'd play
Wow.
stuff like that. I'd
That's
play
crazy.
you guys quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
So she walks in with her new boyfriend, and the next song, and I won't say her name, but I was like, "This is dedicated to blank and her new boyfriend blank," and I played "Prayer to God."
Yeah, you didn't feel too strongly there, did you?
No, I was
Did you get that message out to him?
maybe a little bit.
Kill him.
Yeah, kill him.
Fucking
Just
kill
fucking
him.
kill him. Yeah,
Kill him already.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Amazing. Yeah.
I'm such a little asshole back then.
Kill him. Amen.
That's well, you know, we've also that's been a recurring theme too, is like the mellowing with age, you know, about
Yeah.
how, what, you know, like I used to be kind of a dick, you know, and then you were like, oh yeah, that's not really the best way to be. That's
No.
not really you know, like the outcomes aren't really fantastic when you're just a dick all the time. You know?
Yeah.
You get older and you're like, it's not worth the trouble.
No.
It's more of a hassle to be an asshole, you know.
It sure is.
Yeah.
I tried to be nice, but I feel I was more intense, and my emotions were more
You didn't have a filter yet.
surface.
You're still
Right.
working on your filter, especially on the internet.
Filter development.
Yeah, you're right. He's still working
crucial.
on his,
Which is
internet
also
filter.
crucial with drumming.
Yeah,
It's what I say to people all the time. It's easy. I used to be a drummer that would be like everywhere.
Yeah. The first
That's
band I
easy.
played in, I didn't even have rack toms because I was like, I'm gonna start this the right way. Like I will add drums as they're needed, you know. And
see,
so
I
I
like
started
that.
like with the floor tom, kick drum, and snare drum, one cymbal and hi-hat, and it was just like, okay, this
It's
is
so
where
much
you know.
harder just holding it down, playing
Yeah.
what you're supposed to play instead of being. Like
Yeah.
you're the drummer. You're like, I don't get attention. I'm going to be the center of attention by showing off.
Yeah, the
That's
old
right.
lead guitar drummer syndrome
me
or
out,
whatever.
yeah.
Yes, the
Twirling
spinning
stick.
My favorite is when somebody twirls the sticks and drops them. That is always the best because they're like, "Check me out, oops!"
Don't look at me now.
And then we used to play a lot of shows with this band called Jet by Day, and the drummer, who was fantastic if you just stuck to playing drums, but he had this thing and he couldn't like stop twirling his sticks, but he wouldn't ever. You'd think he dropped his sticks all the time, so you'd think the guy would have had an extra set of sticks like on his kick drum or something. No,
Nope.
So he'd spin his stick, he'd lose his stick, and then it'd be like, "Oh shit!" And the rest of the band's like looking at him like, and he's like, "Somebody grab my stick! Somebody grab my." They're like, "No, dude,
It's
what's
like,
wrong with
aren't you humiliated?
Yeah, totally.
You should be. mortified
There
right
was
now.
some big fights about that. Yeah, because it was like, we're on stage playing in front of people and you dropped your goddamn like it's like that's the unforced error. Like it's one thing to drop your stick when you're playing the beat. You know,
Right.
like, oh, something crazy happened and I dropped my
Right.
stick. But to be like, I'm gonna throw my stick in the air. Oops, didn't catch
drop
it. Yeah. But
Sorry.
yeah.
You
it's
ever
good stuff.
anything like that when you were younger? You feel
I
like
used to
you
drop
grew
my
out of.
sticks all the time.
Yeah.
Phew, they used to just fly out of it.
Did you used to play in ska bands? Is that right? Did you used to play in ska bands? I don't know why I thought that was the case. Is that true? No, you didn't.
That is a horrible
That's
lie.
no, it's true, and I'm saying we're breaking that news here that Sam grew up in ska bands. That's no, it's not true. I don't know why I
The
thought
only
that
part
was
of my
true.
body that sweats
I lived in South
profusely.
Florida.
That
yeah.
could be part of it.
Could be. There's a big
Yeah, there
awful
was.
scene of
Yeah,
You remember the Usuals from back then and from Gainesville? They were a ska band.
Mm-hmm.
you know who was in a ska band in the '90s in South Florida?
Reggie.
Well, okay, I wasn't thinking of Reggie, but Reggie from the Black Kids.
He was also, I'm in a band with him now.
Also, Poe Dameron from Star Wars.
Really?
Force Awakens.
Oh, that's
What's his
right.
name?
I knew about
that. What's Isaac?
Well-
what's his name? Anyway, whatever. He was
Reggie's
in a
gonna
ska
kill me,
band.
but I'm
Weird,
gonna double down. Reggie was in a Christian ska
Oh
band.
Jesus! Literally.
Yeah.
Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
So, well, thank you for coming here.
My pleasure.
This was fantastic to have you. Where can people find you on the internet?
If you want to be found.
If you want to be found,
I don't want to be found personally.
are you a
but
Twitter user or
The band
anything?
is
Or
yeah.
The band, yeah. So where do people find it?
Where do they
Is
look
it
for
at
Twitter?
Interpol or
think
what is
so.
your something like that? I mean, if you you know,
If you go to www.interpolnyc.com,
okay, very good.
all the
That's the
useful
main
links.
source.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
that's where I
perfect.
go if I
Yeah.
want to.
Now, one more. Wait, what's happening in my band? So yeah, thank you for being here.
my pleasure.
And people can look out for more Interpol in the
Next year.
unspecified future.
Yeah, next year.
Within the next
there'll be
year.
another.
Awesome.
We just re-upped with Matador. so-
Excellent.
Cool.
Very exciting.
I'm excited about it.
All right. Well, perfect. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Thanks, dude.
Cool.
Take care.
Thanks again for listening to this week's episode of Load In, Load Out, a Tour Story podcast produced by me, Bill Fortenberry. Our hosts are Ryan Lewis and Cash Carter. Check us out at kindercore.com, where we have a new digital single available from the band Grape Soda, plus all sorts of vinyl, CDs, and t-shirts. We'll be back next week with tour stories from the band Menorcan.